We are on the next page of the welcome packet. And at the top of this page, it says the greatest solutions started with questions. Okay, so in order to find solutions to your weight loss journey, we have to ask the greatest questions to get us to our end goal. So, the first one being, how is your consistency in the 6-week challenge? Was it consistent enough to see long-term results? So that means overall. So were you consistent enough with your sleep? Were you getting, at least 7 hours of sleep every night? Were you consistent enough with your water intake? Were you getting at least 64 ounces of water? Were you consistent enough with managing stress? Were you consistent enough with training, nutrition, stretching, just even being being positive and having a positive mindset? Were you consistent enough with that? So overall is what that question is asking. Okay, moving on to question 2. It is, how was your water intake in the 6-week challenge, and was it consistent enough to see long-term changes you wish to see? So, there are 2 types of consistency. There is day consistency and there is week consistency. So, day meaning, was there a time of day that you were very consistent and then another time that you weren't? So let's pretend, let's say you were really good at getting water in the morning and evening, but during the during the day when you're working, it was harder for you to get water in because you were busy and you forgot about it. So that is what day means. And then what week means is, was there a time of the week that you were more consistent and then a time of the week that you weren't? So maybe let's say you were super consistent with water on the weekends because you weren't so busy, but during the weeks you didn't because you were go all the time and you forgot. So write that down, and just with these questions, be incredibly honest with yourself, because like I said, the greatest solutions started with the greatest questions. We have to answer these questions honestly to get to our greatest solution. Okay, next, number 3 is, how was your eating habits in the 6-week challenge, and was it consistent enough to see long-term changes? Same thing, day consistency. So a lot of people I know, they do really, really good throughout the whole day, but then dinner is just a cluster. So whether it be dinner, that's when your sweet tooth kicks in and you overeat, or dinner being, you did good all day, but during dinner you didn't even eat dinner because you were so busy and you didn't get home till 10 p.m. So that's what day would mean on this one. And then what week would mean on this one, and what I see a lot, is that people do really, really well throughout the whole week, but then on the weekends they struggle when they're not as busy because they start thinking about food more. So just think about those things and write those down. And then the last one, and what area do you feel you need to focus more to obtain long-term success and desire? Okay, so let's say all 3 of these questions you have something written down for. But what we want to do is just pick one, because when we focus on more than one thing, then it starts to become overwhelming and then we just don't do any of it. So I want you to pick one thing that you think will make the biggest difference if you change, and that is what I want you to focus on. So, and I want you to be very, very, very specific. So let's pretend that this first time it's going to be nutrition. So don't just write down nutrition, write down what you need to fix and what you need to change. So let's say with nutrition, you struggle to get all of your food in, okay? Because 5 meals a day is a lot, and I know a lot of you struggle with that. So say, hey, I need to focus on nutrition and I need to focus on eating all 5 of my meals. So how I'm going to do that is by setting an alarm on my phone for, every 4 hours so it reminds me to eat. Okay? That would be one example. Another example would be, let's say you wanted to focus on water. And with water, maybe you could say hey, I need to get more water in during the day because I struggle with that. So I need to keep a tally of all the waters I drank throughout the day. Something like that. Okay, so I just want you to write down one thing, and then when you do that one thing and you get and you achieve that, and you're consistent with it, then I want you to go back and do this whole page over again, and then find something else. And the more we do this, the more we get to go back and change more things and create new lifestyle habits. So with that, get started on this and then watch the next video.